So the Indiana Fever are playing a game in Baltimore. Playing a game in Baltimore basically because, well, the Washington Mystics have 4,000 seater arena and they can very easily sell out the 14,000 seater arena in Baltimore. That's the gist of it. They could really easily sell out the arena in Baltimore. So what's the point of having, what is the point of having 4,000 people there when you can have 14? And they're doing it for both games. But they do play the Sky twice in Washington. They play the Aces possibly twice, maybe once. And each of those games have been moved to a smaller but still bigger, like a 10,000 seater stadium instead of a 14,000 seater stadium. Because they might on a once fill out 10,000. And like that's just a fact. That is just a fact. And the reason why I'm making this video is that people are going ballistic. People are going mad. So Indiana's playing in Baltimore, where Angel is from, but Chicago's playing in Virginia. The league never fails to waste a promo opportunity. I'm gonna be honest here. Angel Reese's college game, she is playing a game in LSU. She is literally playing a game right now in LSU, and she couldn't sell out LSU. She literally went to college there, and she couldn't sell out a game in LSU. Whereas the Fever sold out Iowa before it was allowed to go on general sale. The Sky couldn't sell out LSU. To buy a ticket to watch the Indiana Fever, face off against the Brazil national team, you are paying at a minimum $700, and that's for the very last seat. The very, very last seat. Most of the time, you are gonna be playing, or you're gonna be paying more than $1,000. For anywhere in the middle, it's $1,000. For anywhere close to the court, it's a couple of thousands. Whereas there's so many seats left in the Sky game, it's going for $28. It's going for $28. These tickets are going for $28. They're going for under face value. They didn't sell out, and people are trying to resell them. It's for under face value. Not only that, you can get a $70 seat, like 10 rows up, which again is fine. Like if you are a fan of Angel Reese in the Sky, that's great. You don't have to pay an arm and a leg to go see her. That's a good thing. But we can be honest here. We can be completely honest. When the Fever come to town, you are paying $600 for a seat where you can barely see what's going on. When the Sky come to town, you're paying $67. You're paying a tenth of the price for an unbelievable seat. That's the fact. And everyone going mad. Why not the bigger CFG Bank? They're moving their games against the Fever. Everyone being like, and I'm like, well, yeah, because the Fever, they literally set the all-time attendance record against the Fever. They don't realize that, a team, by the way, a team that's already getting good attendance when the Sky can come to town can do well. Like the Liberty are going to get good attendance against anyone. So when the Sky come to town, they're in, it's going to make more people want to go. Same with the Aces. I don't know necessarily about the Mercury. But for a team that doesn't get the greatest attendance, or one of these teams that plays in a 4,000-seater arena, you're not going to get an extra 10,000 people to watch the Sky. And that's just the fact. And by the way, that's not saying Angel Reese she's not a good player. It's not saying she doesn't even have a lot of hype, because her social media hype, you could argue, is unmatched. You could actually argue the social media hype is almost unmatched with Angel Reese. She might even be the leader in terms of social media hype in the WNBA, but it does seem that fans of the Chicago, not even of the Chicago Sky, the Reese fans, whereas it's the Clark fans that will go to watch Indiana play anywhere. They'll watch her play literally anywhere. Whereas the Sky, not even the Sky fans, because there's not many non-Reese Sky fans outside Chicago, but you've got the Fever fans. I was saying the Fever fans, Jesus, the Reese fans, and they just don't seem to want to spend the money. Like, they will complain on Twitter. They don't seem to want to. The game should have been in Baltimore. Why? So there could be 5,000 spare seats. Move the game to Virginia when she's from Baltimore. I'm sorry, that makes absolutely no difference. And I don't think people realize that. Like, this is not, like, if by the way, the only people to blame are if you are an online Twitter fingers and you are not spending money on, and you have not attended an Angel Reese game, you have not spent money on freaking any Angel Reese merch, any of this stuff. Like, the reason, if you're not going out of your way to go to these games, because the Mystics, people don't realize if you open a bigger arena, just like in, say, the Target Center where the Lynx play, they only open the upper for the finals. It doesn't matter where a player is from. If no one's gonna watch, no one's gonna watch. And by nobody, I mean if you're not gonna fill the stadium, the cost is too much. You literally make a loss. Like, you have to hire security for areas that aren't used. You have to hire people for concessions. You have to pay to clean it up. And if there's empty seats everywhere, that's not good either. That's not good at all. Like, it's better to play in a 10,000 seater stadium that fills 8,000 than a 14,000 that fills 8,000. Who gives a damn where a player is from? The same owner says popularity isn't one player. All players should be. They're only moving Caitlin Clark games to the bigger arena. Yeah. Seems appropriate considering they couldn't fill half Capital One Arena last year. That's exactly it. How much money did they lose last year on having a half full stadium? Like, people don't understand how much it costs, like, for that. And people are like, oh, it needs to be in Baltimore. It's a joke. These people genuinely, they're out here living in their own fantasy world. And the funniest part is it's their fault. If you want Angel Reese's games to be put into that Baltimore arena, go this year. And I mean that. Speak with your wallet. Go to the game. Go to the game. Sell out where they're playing. Sell out their 10,000 seater stadium. Sell it out in 10 freaking minutes. Sell it out tomorrow. And if you sell it out tomorrow, they might do what teams did last year and, move the games. If you want that game moved to Baltimore, and maybe if there's some scheduling issues, if they can't, if you want it to happen next year, sell out that game straight away, and they'll consider it. Sell out the game. Because if they put you in a bigger stadium last year, and you sold half of it, so why would they put you in the bigger stadium again? Doesn't matter where Angel Reese is from. It genuinely doesn't. Like, this isn't wrestling where, if Edge goes back to Canada, he'll guarantee to sell it out just purely because it's Canada, or if CM Punk goes to Chicago. Like, come on now. Anyway, I'll see you guys.